Previously on Bomo Bespoke. So we designed this pattern. We did everything to get to this point. And then of course we had all our pattern pieces in check. So now it's time to do the pattern for the linings, and then we will build a prototype and see how everything looks. So first of all, the linings, get ready. First thing we do is we trace out the mean form. We'll divide it into two by drawing a right angle from just around the instep. So the back part of our linings will start just around the instep of the shoe. So we draw a right angle from there. So this will be the back part of the lining, and that will be the front part of the lining. So we'll divide those two parts, and for the back part, it's basically a matter of duplicating it. Ain't not much to do other than just duplicating the back part. So we fold our cardboard into two, duplicate that back part, and we will have had our lining all done, the back part of the lining all done for the back part. So once we duplicate this, we are all done. So add some stitching allowance, and even at the top there some folding allowance, because we're actually basically going to fold the upper over onto the lining, so it might help to give ourselves some wiggle room to be able to do that. So having duplicated this, the back part of the lining is all set. Now let's face the front part. Now if you simply take the front part and duplicate it, you'd find that you have excess space in the middle. This diamond you see in the middle right there is going to cause problems for you if you simply just duplicate the pattern that you have, which means that we have to spring it. The easy way of springing is to find the middle point on the line, the vamp line, and just cut it up until the center of that vamp line. And then using that center as pivot, you can actually fold it over and duplicate it on a straight line. If you do this, you find that the top part of the center line really is elongated significantly more than you already have. So let me demonstrate that. So if we measure the total length of the center line on the main pattern, it came to about 8.5 plus 4.5, which is about 13 cm. However, if we spring it and elongate it along the center line like so, you find that it has elongated beyond 13 cm to almost 15 cm. So once we spring like this, we will still have to reduce the total length back to what we originally have. So we've elongated and sprung. Next thing to do is to find the actual length of our vamp and mark that in. So I've just marked in 13, and that will ultimately be the pattern of the front part of my sprung vamp. So this is an easy method. It is prone to some errors, but not much. It is nothing you can handle. As you can see, the pattern really aligns to what we ultimately had in very, very close way. The more difficult way of springing is to pivot along the feather edge. So if we draw that same line and draw up to the point where that line touches the feather edge, we can move the vamp point along the center line towards the right until the rest of the back part falls on the center line. So we'll keep moving until it falls on the center line, and then we draw in the rest of the back part. Now you will notice that by so doing, we would have moved our vamp point, so the total length is beyond 13, or again if we move our van point back to its original position, but taking all of the lines that we had drawn on the feather edge, so if we mark that part back in like so, you'd find that what we have now corresponds much significantly to what we had earlier. So that's the second method of springing the vamp of our lining. So we're just going to couple these in and begin to build our prototype. So we'll build just one leg to see that the pattern is correct. Once the pattern fits on the last, we will now be much more careful in creating our pattern pieces and building the shoe ultimately. Rest of the video, it's about me cutting the pattern pieces, skiving, and creating the prototype. And here it is. So we're going to stitch these up and place it on the last and find out exactly how far and how firm it fits on the last. After that, we'll now begin to build the actual sneakers. And that will be the subject of the next class, ladies and gentlemen. Till then, God bless you.